Welcome to another episode of Financial Minds. I'm Jaime Agostino, your host. We've got another Vizo Financial team lined up for you to meet today. Their investment team. Today we'll discuss how strategic investment management helps credit unions strengthen their balance sheet and support long-term success. Joining me today are Scott Wood, Roger Heidlebaugh, and John Katon. Welcome. Would each of you mind taking a moment and introduce yourselves and your role on the Vizo Financial investment team?
Sure. I'll start off here. Scott Wood, I'm the Chief Investment Officer. I've been with Vizo / First Carolina for 23 years. So, I've been working with credit unions that whole time. So just continuation of that.
All right.
Roger Heidlebaugh. I'm the portfolio strategist. I've been with Vizo Financial for about 3.5 years. Prior to coming to Vizo, I was a retail financial advisor in a retail bank environment. Did that job for about 13 years.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm John Katon. I've been with Vizo Financial for 3 years. I work as an investment analyst and am located here in Greensboro, based out of our Greensboro office.
All right. Well, thank you all for being here today. So, Roger, I'm going to throw my first question at you. So, how does the investment function at Vizo Financial support the stability and growth of credit unions?
Okay, thanks, Jaime. Really, I'm going to break it down into two different ways. A big role of what we do here is education. We deliver that education a few different ways. One is through blogs, podcasts such as this. We also do we do 4 different financial strategies workshops. They'll be coming up here shortly, where you'll hear from us Vizo experts, internal experts, kind of talk about our area of expertise. We also do in September, our financial conference, where we bring in outside experts to, kind of give you guys some different varying opinions and outside influences, that type of thing. The other way we deliver education is by one-on-one interactions with our credit unions, whether that's just a phone call that John or myself or Scott get during the day, or whether it's a set up Zoom meeting with CEO and CFO where we talk about some specific strategies. The other way we support the credit unions is just by delivering investment solutions, whether that's in-house Vizo products, Simplicity, or through our brokerage relationship with Cetera Wealth. So that's a pretty brief answer, but I think that should cover it.
Okay. All right. So John, walk me through a day in the investment department. What does a day look like?
Yeah, so a day in the investment department can get kind of chaotic sometimes. We are working with our members from across the country. But first thing is first, we're going to review the markets. I'm going to adjust our CD rates every single morning based off the market conditions. After that, Roger and I will start to collaborate a lot. If it's with our members or it could be with dealers, just trying to find the best solution, the best products, as well as the best pricing out there. So it really, really varies. It could be liquidity solutions all the way up into investing. So from a day in the investing department, it's a bit chaotic.
Okay. All right. So then, John, in simple terms, how do you then support the investment strategies of our member credit unions?
Yeah, so the best way that we can support, I think Roger kind of hit on it. Number one is providing education. And then I think we would go on to, there's a bunch of different areas that we could help our members. If it's just reviewing an investment policy, we do that as well. We also offer R2 analysis, as well as I believe we offer the most competitive pricing in the country. So those are the 3 areas I think that we really, really try to focus on and help our members.
Okay. All right. So Roger, can you give me an example of how your team helped a credit union with their investment position?
Yeah, I have an example in mind. A few months ago, we had a new CEO and CFO take over from an outgoing CEO, CFO. And they didn't understand their investment position. They had the previous leadership had an outside broker kind of sell them some investments that I don't think totally. I wouldn't have sold those same ones. I didn't totally agree with. After reviewing their policy, it didn't. Some of their investment holdings didn't really fit into their policy and what their guidelines said. So we did an analysis, as John touched on. We have some tools that we can use. We did an R2 portfolio analysis and kind of looked at their portfolio as a whole and then identified individual securities. We worked with them to help them understand what they had. And then we identified a few securities to actually sell to bring them, in closer to their policy. And then on top of that, we developed a plan going forward that it would more closely align to what they were trying to accomplish, help offset the risks with their deposits, things like that. And I think just kind of got them on more of a track. The biggest thing we did, though, is help them understand what they were buying, which is something that they didn't understand before.
Okay. All right. So then, Scott, how can credit unions better partner with Vizo Financial to strengthen their investment portfolios and their needs?
Yeah, I think, one of the first steps is just to reach out to us, reach out to Roger, myself, or John directly. Reach out to your corporate account manager. And really when you think of investing, I think a lot of people think, we help you invest money, whether it's in bonds or CDs, or it might be share accounts with Vizo or, other things. And while that's certainly a big part of it, probably the biggest part, we're not focused exclusively on investing. So we also help out quite a bit on the other side of the balance sheet. So when you have times when liquidity is tight, we're a great resource to reach out to and say, hey, I need cash. Can you help me identify ways to bring cash into the credit union? So I wanted to just clear that up, make sure you're aware that we can help out with both sides, whether you have excess cash or you're tight on cash. John and Roger can help out tremendously on either aspect of that. So I think the biggest thing is to reach out, let them know what your needs are. If you have excess cash, they can find a way, the best investment options. If you need liquidity, they'll help you find the best liquidity options. And on both sides, we try to analyze it. We don't just kind of go by our gut. We look at the raw numbers. We'll give you the data and say, hey, we looked at these different liquidity options, and this one is going to be the cheapest one for your credit union. Now, it doesn't always make sense to go with the cheapest route. There may be another overriding reason why one of the other methods makes sense, but John and Roger will analyze that for you and let you know. And same on the investing side. They'll kind of take a look at what's out there and give you what we feel like is the best option based on your needs at that point in time. So reach out, know that, we're here to serve you guys. And that's kind of what our purpose is to work with you and help you. And we're happy to do that. So don't feel like, you can't reach out because it might be too much work or something. We're happy to do that for you.
Okay. All right. So John, what tools, resources, or services does your team provide that credit unions may not know about?
Yeah, so I'd like to hit on the R2 analysis. The R2 analysis really gives Roger and I an in-depth idea of what the portfolio is overall. We do run this for credit unions of all sizes, free of charge, and it can really provide, a lot of different information from convexity, from where exactly your portfolio is sitting in a quartile, where we best can help you with the portfolio, as well as helps us understand, what exactly is in the portfolio. So our R2 analysis is free of charge, like I said, and can really provide a lot of great information. So I would like to, that's the one product I think a lot of members are unaware of that we do offer, and something that can provide, a great deal of value.
Okay. All right. So Roger, then what types of products do you offer for credit unions?
Okay, so most credit unions that are members, or even if they use us for certain services, they're familiar with our overnight accounts. Obviously, our Flex account, pays a good rate. Most members are familiar with that. So we have our Vizo overnight accounts. We also have our Vizo CDs that we offer that John actually sets the rates for every morning. On top of that, many members are also familiar with our Simplicity. Some people refer to Simply CD, where we can sell outside certificates from other credit unions and banks and kind of expand that offering of what credit unions can purchase. For some credit unions, depending on experience and size, it may be beneficial for them to look into some other products. And that's where we start to get into our brokerage platform. We have a relationship with Cetera Wealth Services where we can offer a full brokerage, where we can offer treasury bonds, agency bullets, agency callables. A lot of you will get the email list that I send out every morning and sometimes through the middle of the day. On top of that, any type of bond that exists out there that credit unions are allowed to invest in, we can offer. Those might be mortgage-backed securities. We have, a lot of different type of bonds, CMOs, things like that. We have a few credit unions that invest in SBA floaters, something that Scott invests in the Vizo portfolio pretty heavily, and those can make sense for certain credit unions. So pretty much anything that's in the regulation that credit unions go out there and purchase, we can help you, help you figure out if it makes sense for you and then help, with that transaction as well.
All right. So then why should a credit union use Vizo Financial for investments? Scott, you mind taking that one?
Sure. Yeah, I think there's a number of reasons why, credit union should use Vizo Financial. One, we're obviously a credit union owned by you guys. You are our members. You own us, and we're here. We look at ourselves as extensions of your staff. While we may not be in your credit union, we feel like we're just an extension of those that work for you. And we're here, we have your best interests at heart. John mentioned earlier that, we feel like we have the best pricing and kind of what sets us apart a little bit from other brokers that you might work with when you're buying bonds is we're more of a generalist. We work with a firm that holds our licenses, Cetera Wealth. And we have access to inventory across all these different broker dealers across the street. So we're not beholden to sell what's in our inventory. We can go out there and find whatever you're looking for. And we try to tailor the bonds to what you actually need, not what we have. As far as the pricing goes, we can get multiple quotes. So on a new issue piece, it's all the same for everybody, right? It doesn't matter who you are. You're going to pay the same price. But if you have a secondary piece out there or a mortgage-backed security or a CMO, SBA pool, the pricing can vary from dealer to dealer. The advantage we bring is we can scour those inventories of these different dealers. We can identify the lowest price and then get that to you. So we have a long-term relationship with credit unions. We've been affiliated with a lot of credit unions for 40 or over 40 years. We have your best interests at heart. What we would encourage you to do is, even if you have another primary broker on the investment side, is to come to us for a second quote. If it's not a new issue piece, like I mentioned, the pricing can vary. We're happy to provide a second quote, even if you're not going to do the bond business here. It gives you an opportunity to go back to your broker and say, hey, listen, I got a better price elsewhere. And you can kind of get them to tighten up their price with that too. Another reason that, would beneficial to work with us is we will help you identify. Roger and John are really good. I mentioned this earlier. They can identify what investments are most appropriate for you to buy based on your entire balance sheet. So they'll provide that training if it's something new. So if you've never bought mortgage-backed securities before, they'll train you on what to look at, what the Bloomberg screens are showing you, and what to look at on there. They'll provide training to yourself, your management staff. They can train your board members, your ALCO or whatever on what to look at on these investments. So we're happy to provide that training. But they'll identify what's appropriate to buy. And the same thing when you're looking to sell. If you need to raise liquidity, it doesn't always make sense to sell a bond or to sell an investment, but they'll look at that and analyze it. And we'll give you, again, an honest opinion on what it is. And it's usually based on the financial costs, but we'll give you the pitfalls and the benefits of using the different options and just try to help you make the best decision based on what's best for your credit union from a financial standpoint.
All right. So, Scott, I'm going to throw a follow-up to that. Would it be beneficial for the credit unions to maybe sign up for some of those services? Because there's no fees for them. They can sign up to have the brokerage in place. That way, if they see something, we can help them right away without, delays with the paperwork. Same with Simplicity. What are your thoughts there?
Yeah, I mean, we always encourage credit unions to get the paperwork in place ahead of time because it makes it a lot easier and quicker. So there may be a point in time when you need a bond today or tomorrow, or you need to sell something today or tomorrow. And sometimes the paperwork takes a little bit of time to get signatures and get everything through the approval process on the bond side. So certainly Simply CD or simplicity, however you want to say it. So the Cetera Wealth brokerage stuff, it helps to get that stuff taken care of ahead of time. On Simply CD, you can actually become an issuer of CDs if you want to. So most credit unions buy through Simplicity, but you can actually be an issuer. That's another one we recommend you get the paperwork in place ahead of time. It's a very simple form. It doesn't take a whole lot of time to fill that out and get it in place. And then should the need arise that, hey, we need liquidity. All of a sudden, we've gotten really tight. Our members are borrowing or whatever it may be, more than we anticipated. Then you can go out there and issue pretty quickly. So any of those things to have them in place ahead of time is beneficial. And as you pointed out, Jaime, there's no cost for that. There's no obligation. So you can sign up for these things. You never have to buy a Simplicity. You never have to issue a Simply. You never have to buy or sell a bond through us, but at least you're ready to go should the need arise.
All right. Thanks, Scott. So thank you all for being here today. Any final thoughts you'd like to share with our audience on how your roles help credit unions succeed?
I'll just quick add, Jaime, not so much how our roles help, but just feel free to reach out to John, myself, or Scott. We're here, as Scott said, we're here to serve you guys. Don't feel, some of you are very sophisticated, know investments really well. Some of you not so much. So please, by all means, we're here to help you. We're here to educate you. So pick up the phone or shoot us an email anytime. We're more than happy to help.
Yeah, I would echo Roger's sentiments there. We're happy to do any training, any education. We're really big on education at Vizo. We try to do a lot of formal education and some of the things that Roger talked about earlier on. But we certainly have Roger and John meet frequently with credit unions, and I do too, one-on-one, to have discussions with you. So we can like I said, we'll do presentations for you. We can talk about the economy, about investments. So again, reach out to us. We're always happy to help and do what we can.
John, any final thoughts?
The last thing that I would add is just going back off of Scott and Roger. Please feel free to reach out. We're here to help you guys. And, we do have proven, expertise here at the corporate. So please just reach out if there's any questions.
All right. All right. Well, thank you all again. Thank you to the investment team today for sharing how your expertise is helping credit unions navigate complexity, manage risk, and build sustainable financial strength. So your work supports the stability today while positioning credit unions for their success tomorrow. So I'd also like to take a moment and thank Vizo Financial's Investment Solutions for sponsoring today's episode. There are tons of questions and what ifs when it comes to investments. What works best for your credit union? How will you get the best return for your money? What does the current market mean for your investments? Well, good news. You saw it here today. We have the insights, the experts, and options to help your credit union find just the right investments and manage your funds effectively. Contact a member of this team or your corporate account manager to learn more about the brokered investment options, Simply CD, Flex account, term certificates, and so much more. As you hear, investments is a key function in credit union as well as the corporate balance sheet management. And again, I thank you to this team for all that you do to support both of those. And for the audience, thank you for listening and join me again next week. We're going to continue spotlighting the teams here at Vizo Financial and how they accelerate credit union success. With that, make it a great day.